Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?
Hey y'all, welcome to Time Smith. I am glad that you are here. This is where I help those of you who are overwhelmed at work or just want to get focused or clear. I help you get rid of distractions and get through your day with a daily routine. Also, you can be clear, so you can be in control, productive, and have that done feeling every day. Kind of like a space heater. My whole room is warmer now thanks to that space heater. I want to be your space heater where you might just need a little encouragement. You might need the warmth of just knowing that what you do matters and that you can have control. So I hope that this podcast warms you up. All right, so today I do want to talk about something that I think really gets at the heart of a lot of what I teach, which is the difference between working hard and overworking. Because I think a lot of us have a good work ethic. We want to work hard. Probably if you are listening to this, you can probably count yourself as one of those people. But when do we know the difference, and how do we know the difference between hard work and overwork? Well, I think that it's a really important question, because I think that somebody who overworks actually does worse at work. They all the areas of their life suffer. But if you are able to work hard, then all the areas of your life flourish, including your work. You get more done, and it's better kind of all around use of your time and just better life overall. So instead of just giving you like one definition of hard work versus overwork, I want to use a little bit of time here just to make some comparisons and kind of paint a picture for you. So let's imagine kind of like Bob Ross. We're painting, a blue smudge here that turns into some mountains, and a green smudge here over at the other side that turns into some trees. And eventually the whole picture comes together. And without telling you that he's drawing a picture of mountains and trees, you kind of just come to grasp it yourself. So let's talk like that today. Before I get started though, I do want to tell you, I want to offer you a free gift today, my power routine guide. So it's the 5-step routine, including the 3 lists you need. It's kind of like your train tracks, if you're the train. Just gets you from point A to point B really quickly, gets you through your day, knowing exactly what to work on next. And if you're anything like my other students, you'll save a couple hours first day you implement this. So check that out at timesmith.work/guide. All right, so men, you might struggle with some of these, or some of these areas worse than others, or maybe you're pretty good in most of them. The point here is not to discourage you, but just to wake you up a little bit, maybe, if you need it. All right, first, overworkers react, but hard workers prioritize and stick to it. Overworkers think they need more time. Hard workers cherish the time they've been given. Overworkers feel good from getting back to people right away. Hard workers feel good from accomplishing what they set out to do that day. Overworkers think working at home before spending adequate time with their family or working late is just what it takes. But hard workers know that family is an even more important job than their work. Overworkers rail at innovative ideas because they mean more work. But hard workers love new ideas because they mean less work. Overworkers don't delegate and feel it's all on them. Hard workers humbly and willingly ask for help and invest in others' growth. Overworkers multitask. Hard workers work on one thing at a time. I'll say the first one again. Overworkers react. Hard workers prioritize and stick to it. Overworkers are never present because they're constantly checking email, chat, trying to get as many things done as possible. Hard workers understand that this moment is the one that matters. Overworkers burn out and long for retirement. Hard workers have a pace they can endure and hope to help their work through other people through their work, even in retirement. Overworkers complain. Hard workers provide solutions. Overworkers have a scarcity mindset or hold on to what they have, even if they don't like what they have. Hard workers know that there is enough possibility out there to go around and help others find it and seek it themselves. All right, so I hope that helps. Let me get a little bit more practical, but in general, you can see that overworkers are reacting. They've got this mindset that it's all on them and they've just got to push and do all these things. Whereas a hard worker, it's not easy, but they prioritize and they set to it. They get true work done by the end of the day. They care about the moment. They care about other people. Let me give you a little bit of an analogy to think through this. An overworker will try to swim against the current, basically. So they'll jump in the river and they'll try to swim upstream. But the unfortunate part is that the current is too strong for them. All of the demands of all the people around them inevitably kind of push them back, and they don't make any progress in their day. A hard worker refuses to even get in the river. Of other people's demands and expectations, they refuse to even get to let communications and chat and email and everything else run their day. Instead, they stay on dry ground. They take their machete and they get through the jungle. They might have to fight for every step that they take, but every step they take is real progress. They're always making progress. So by the end of the day, they might look back and it might be that they've made it a mile or two. Now, it wasn't easy, but they made true progress. So let's get a little practical. If you want to do a great job at your work, but if you want to be a hard worker, here's some practical things you can do. If you want to do a great job at your work, you've got to know that work is not the most important thing. If work is your most important thing, you'll never be satisfied. So let a job well done serve you, but not rule you. Number 2, block yourself off from distraction. This is actually hard work. People think the opposite for some reason. They think that if somebody isn't answering their email and chat right away, that they're an anomaly, that something's off and they just don't care. But the truth is that they're making true progress in the tasks that matter most to those people, those very same people. It's hard not to constantly reply back to people because it's just safe. You know that nobody can possibly be mad at you for anything ever. But you've got to do it. It's hard. But when you're not distracted from everything around you, then you're faced with a real task and you actually have to get it done. There's nothing else to do and you've got to get the actual work done. This means that you're forced not to people please. And it also means that you have to prioritize your finite time. Again, blocking yourself off from distraction. It's hard work. It's easy to overwork and just compensate for not prioritizing, compensate for not cutting yourself off from distractions by just working constantly. Number 3, you don't get done each day and didn't get done what you had planned if you're an overworker. So a hard worker prioritizes, they focus, and they finish. When it's not working, an overworker stops and thinks, this isn't working. I need to change something. An overworker desperately tries to get everything done. They don't realize that it's impossible, that To do an analogy I've done before, if you're out on a bike ride, you can't possibly ride every road in the city. You have to set out where do you want to get to, and then you've got to take just those roads. You can't just ride every single street, please every single person, do every single task, and hope, just by hope's sake, that you got to point B. Number 4, you know that you're an overworker if you get your best work done on vacation, in an airplane, or late at night, because you can't get your work done during the day and are not disciplined. Your non-discipline leaks into your whole life. So because you're not disciplined during the day, you don't say no, and you actually focus on what's important and plan and prioritize those things. Block yourself off from distraction. When you aren't disciplined at work, you're not going to be disciplined at home. You're not going to be disciplined on the weekend. You're just going to constantly overwork. Number 5, you're only ever thinking about work if you're an overworker. So it's okay to think a lot about work, but something greater than work has to capture your heart. I would suggest Jesus and looking into what he is, what he means, and who he is. You have to be able to focus on something bigger than yourself and your work. That's one way that you can actually be a harder worker instead of a desperate overworker. All right, that's a quick one today. Do you want to become a hard worker and hone that side of you in a bit? Do you want to get out of the river of constant chats and emails all day long? You want to get through those and get done with it, but you don't want to have to struggle through the jungle? Well, you can use my daily routine to guide you and help you see the progress step by step. I've already laid out the path so that you can do it each day. So download my free 2-page guide that will help you take back at least 2 hours a day at timesmith.work/guide. Here's one example. The average person spends 2.5 hours on email a day. And I have over 50 projects ongoing at any one time, and I spend about a half hour, 45 minutes on email a day. That's a lot of projects and email. That's a large part of my job. And I spend only that much time on it. That's 2 hours less than the average person. So that's why I think just that alone, if you can get down processing and turning off chat and email notifications, you can get back 2 hours a day starting tomorrow. So download that free guide, timesmith.work/guide. And I'll see you back here next week.